Yeah. Coke fed, press some head, let's get in the car, I said. She grabbed my hand, girls rescue, met the bar, witness said. Tears fled the head, I'm waiting, I guess she tweet, I guess she confess, she thinking less, not drinking less. Bathroom says, best to get spontaneous, I stereotype, put to rest tonight. Imagine, believe, and achieve, it works. Skyline as I rise like fireworks. Smell through the bad, don't touch my perk.
Hey, hello everybody, and welcome to this edition of After the Storm, the OKC Thunder post-game analysis show. Actually, it is our playoff preview show is what it really is tonight. I was going to wait till tomorrow, but I thought, you know what? It was a great day today. I'm on you. Hey, Hotspot, how you doing? Where I been, bro? I've been watching the Masters. And then, of course, I don't really, I don't really do the last couple games. I mean, I'm really not interested in watching our guys play that's not going to play. So that's really where it was, Hotspot. I just don't have any desire. I really don't. I mean, I didn't even watch the games when SGA did not play against Phoenix. I didn't even watch that game, and I definitely didn't watch the last two because it's like, what am I doing? You know, I'm like, these guys aren't going to play. I don't really care. You're playing against guys. Everybody scrubs are playing against each other. I'm not interested in that. I'm just not. And so I was interested in watching other games that were meaningful, like today the Clippers and Golden State to decide that final spot. I was interested in that, and I was interested in Rory winning his first green jacket. And by the way, completing the Grand Slam. Congratulations to him. So that's what I did. Plus, I play golf, Hotspot. So if you play golf, what are you going to do? You're going to watch. But that's why I wasn't interested. And now I will be in full throttle. You watched it, yeah. One of our guys there at the gym today, he was watching. I gave him my iPad because he doesn't have FanDuel, so I let him watch it on my deal. And plus, I have it on my phone where all the games I have. When the Thunder games come up, I have it on my so I can keep track of what we were doing. Hey, John, how you doing? Yeah, let's go, Rory. And by the way, the Masters Hotspot was crazy, so I had a much better time watching that. And letting him be the sixth player of all time to get the career Grand Slam. So I was excited about that and not excited to watch the Pelicans. I didn't want to watch the Pelicans anyway. I didn't want to watch the Jazz anyway. And the Suns, and when I realized that SGA wasn't going to get a chance to break Kevin Durant's record with Kevin Durant in attendance in Phoenix, I wasn't interested. And then, of course, once the Cavaliers lost, I knew we were going to have the overall seed. So, I wasn't. I'm just not. This is how I am, Potspot. I don't watch bad basketball. Period. College, high school, junior high, NBA. I don't watch it. I'm not interested. If I'm not going to be able to see something that I'm really interested in, I'm out 100%. So to me, watching what the Thunder were doing, I mean, I knew we were going to blow them out, and quite frankly, really, what was I going to talk about? I mean, we kicked their ass. Jumping the gun, but what does the play-in start Tuesday? Yeah, we're getting ready to go over all of that. That's why I waited before I started everything today, John. I wanted to make sure everything was laid out exactly and give me some time to get some numbers. I wanted to put our end numbers together as far as the Thunder, who we were playing, what was going on with that. So I wanted to make sure all that was done as well. And then plus I was excited about the fact that that we were going to play. And then also quite a few people, kids at the gym today, they were like, oh, Coach Matt, I'm like, yeah, we're going to play. This is who we're going to play. And when we look at it, okay, we're going to go into and we're going to look at it. So I guess let's just start into it so we can all just kind of figure out where we're at, okay? This is where the playoffs ended up, okay? And we're going to do the West first. I know we got to do the East because it is the East, but, I mean, we're all more interested in what happened in the West than we are in the East. And let me see if I can get to this. Where the hell is my stuff? I don't know. Okay, here we go. God dang, that took me a long time. The West, okay. Thunder, of course, winners of our last four. And then, of course, here's the Rockets, losers of three. But, I mean, it didn't really matter. Once they knew they were locked into their number 2 spot, they really didn't care. Lakers 50 and 32 in third. Nuggets are in fourth at 50 and 32. Winners of the last three. To me, my dream scenario, we need a challenge to test us on the perimeter. I agree. This is where we stand right now. The Warriors and the Grizzlies are going to play their first round, which we know that hopefully the Warriors win so they can finish seventh, and then we get the Grizzlies. Okay, that's kind of how I look at it. And the Warriors choked, to be honest with you today. They choked. They really did. I was very surprised at what they did at the end. And then giving Buddy Hield the chance to shoot the three instead of Steph, even though it was a nice decoy. He got a good look, but his feet were terrible. He didn't square up. And it was like, dude, you have 6 seconds. You got plenty of time to get the shot off. So I didn't really like that as much. So when you break it down, this is what it ended up being. So now when we look at the playoff brackets, okay, we look at the brackets, and this is where everybody's laid out, okay? This is the latest. This is the end all, so we can really, as a group, me, you, Hotspot, John, we can all look at this and kind of get a good feel. And Randy, yes, your boy Waters is over on the other side in 6th spot, going to face the Knicks, which I think is a good spot for Detroit. That's a good spot for them to go against the Knicks. They can beat the Knicks, I think. Okay, but speaking of the Thunder, the 9th and 10th place teams are the Mavericks and the Kings. And who's going to win that game, I don't really care. But if I had to have a guess, I would think that the Mavericks would beat them. That's just me. I think the Mavericks would beat them, go into 9th, and that means they would play the loser of Golden State and the Grizzlies, which I think the Grizzlies are going to lose to Golden State. I think Golden State is mad about what happened today, so I think Golden State will move into the 7th spot and beat the Grizzlies and play the Rockets. Because I don't want to see, to be honest with you, I don't really want to see Golden State the first round. I really don't. I really don't want to see them. So if I just have my choices, that's how I look at it, and that's the way that I would go. My coach John Gray goes, no more after the storm. I'm saying, I'm on now, dude. I guess all you guys thought that I had disappeared, but I hadn't, because I'm just not interested in that other stuff. I will be fully engaged now, okay, guys? I will be fully engaged as you will be. Anyway, back to it. I think Golden State will beat the Grizzlies, and then I will move the Grizzlies against the winners of the Kings and Mavericks, which I think the Mavericks will beat the Kings, and I think the Mavericks and the Kings going Mavericks and Grizzlies. Man, I just don't know about that game. I think we can beat either one. I just don't think the Mavericks just have enough, but they will give us problems, and Jason Kidd knows us really, really well, so that's going to give us problems. But with no Kyrie and no Luka, I just don't see them being that big of an issue. I just don't. So I think that, to me, the best play for us would be the Grizzlies. So Thunder against Grizzlies. Then you have the Nuggets against the Clippers, which I think, by the way, will be a hell of a series. Hotspot says we can beat either of them in 7. No. I agree, Hotspot. I just think it would go 5 or 6. If we play the Grizzlies, I think it'll be 6 games. If we play the Mavericks, I think it'll be 6 or 7, 5 or 6 too. I don't think either one of those teams can really get us. If it's Golden State, I worry about Golden State more than I do any of the other groupings, okay? That's just how I look at it. I don't know. What are you talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. I'm not worried about EA Sports. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what my coach is talking about. Anyways, this is my thing with this. I am sitting there doing the Thunder, and I believe, like you do, Hotspot, I think we can be either one, plain and simple. But our best chance is the Grizzlies don't match up with us at all. So to me, it's a better matchup with us against the Grizzlies. The Warriors, I think, would be a terrible matchup for us. I just do. But I would prefer, I don't really, Dallas, I think, is going to be a hard matchup, but I still think we can beat them in 6, because they're still going to get some games off of us because they know how to play us. The Nuggets and the Clippers, that's going to be a knockdown, drag out. But once again, Zubac against Jokic And then the way that they defend, talking about the Clippers, they're really long in their 3, 4, and 5. 2, 3, and 4. They're really, really long. So I think they're going to give Jamal Murray. They're going to give those guys all they want. And if I had to pick, I would think the Clippers will come out of that. So I think round 2 would be us versus the Clippers, not against the Nuggets. That's just kind of me. The Nuggets have since they fired the coach are doing okay, but I just the Clippers are just on one right now, and I believe that the Clippers will beat the Nuggets and that they would play us. And how do you guys feel about that? I'm assuming that you guys will be the same. The Lakers and Clippers would have been a great television show. Yeah, I agree, but it is what it is. We're stuck with where we're stuck with. I just still believe that the Nuggets against the Clippers is still going to be a great series. And then, of course, us against whichever team we play. Hotspot says Dallas out-muscles and out-hustles. And we don't match them in their intensity. I just think that because they beat us last year, Hotspot, I think we come back and we match their intensity and we match their hustle. I don't think they're going to do that now, but I think we're on a mission. Okay, I think we're on a mission to get to the championship series. I just do. And I don't think we could have got a better break. But like I said, we need for the Warriors to beat the Grizzlies. We just do. John says, but the Lakers versus Wolves is also a great series. No. That's my perfect scenario, John. If you've been listening to our show, my perfect scenario was the Lakers against the Timberwolves. Why? Because it's going to be physical. They're going to beat the hell out of each other, but especially Timberwolves are going to physically beat up the Lakers. Okay? So this was my dream scenario. The Lakers, I still think they'll probably beat the Grizzlies in 6 or 7, 100%. But I think the Lakers will be physically beat up. And then after that, they have the winner between the Rockets and hopefully the Golden State Warriors. Now, if that's the case, either one of them is going to be a physical series, especially the Rockets. Now, Golden State is going to be more of a if they play the Golden State Warriors, I think that's more of a fast-paced, up and down. Once again, that still is going to break you down, and I think that would be a 6 or 7 game series for them. So I believe that if we play the Grizzlies, we'll probably beat them in 5, maybe 6. If we play the Clippers, I think it's going to still be that'll be a 6, maybe 7 games. But James Harden is who James Harden is. I still don't trust Kawhi, and he can make it through the whole series. And on top of that, we're not going to make the mistakes that Golden State made today. They made some. Steph Curry goes to the basket, tries to throw the ball out to the corner. The hell you doing? You're at the basket. Finish. Floater, teardrop, finger roll. Finish, Steph, instead of trying to make the extra pass. I did not like that at all. Okay. Hotspot says Clippers are overrated, and it's Zub with the Dubs that we have to worry about. Nobody else. I don't know about all that. The Clippers are playing great right now. I think I don't worry. The Clippers don't bother me, but I think it's still going to be a hell of a series. That's just me when I look at it. But I'm not really worried about them so much. I'm just not. I think that we'll be able to handle either one of them. But that being said, you have the Rockets against the Warriors on the other side. Okay, so those two come in, they'll beat each other up. Then you have the Lakers against them. And if the Lakers end up playing against the Rockets, I think they'd beat the Rockets simply because the Rockets just haven't had the experience enough to beat them. Golden State, I think, however, will be a harder W for the Lakers to get to the championship final. But anyway, that's going to be a 6 or 7 game series. And I believe for us, getting that rest against the Grizzlies, if that's who we play, I think we'll be fine. And then we come back and it's going to be a knockdown series between the Nuggets and the Clippers. Either one of those, I'm thinking it's going to be 6 games, maybe 7. Okay, depending on what our coach does, depending on who he plays. If he's going 10 or 11 deep, then we're going to be in trouble. But if he gets off of his normal thing and go, hey, let's just play, get me 9, maybe 10 players if we really need to, then we can. Hosper says, their center is the only one I worry about. I like Zubac. I really have always liked him. But that being said, you look at where we are and we look at what's happening with the Thunder. And we're talking about the Clippers. I think it just depends on him. If you go SGA, J-Dub, Dort, iHeart, Chet, then you've got Kaysen, Caruso, Joe, Wiggins. That's your 9. And remember, we got AJ Mitchell coming back now. So with that second group, which is, and I said this today, and somebody looked at me, second group, J-Dub, I go, no. I'm talking about second and fourth quarters when SGA is on the bench. You've got a ball handler now with AJ Mitchell. And AJ looked pretty good. I watched him a little bit. So you've got that group, that guy coming in, and you don't have to worry about doing J-Dub, Kaysen, Caruso, Wiggins, and Chet, and none of them are ball handlers, because that's going to kill you against the Clippers. You have to have somebody who can handle the ball against their pressure. And if you don't, we'll struggle against them. Not so much the Nuggets, because they're not deep enough. But against the Clippers, giving A.J. Mitchell back will really help us with that second and fourth quarter starting group, which is going to be interesting. Hotspot says, we can shut off Harden and the other guys, but it's the center. No. This is what I said. I like Zubac. But my thing with Harden is Harden does what Harden does. We've watched him since Oklahoma City. But now, give him his credit, we would not have been to the NBA Finals had James Harden not gone off against San Antonio. The Thunder would not have made the NBA Finals against the Miami Heat. That's a fact. So when you look at this, I believe Thunder against the Lakers. That's who I see in the finals. Now, if Thunder against the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals, with the Lakers going through the way they're going through, I don't care what anybody says, age is undefeated. It just is. It's just undefeated. So when you look at these teams and you look at what's happening, age is undefeated. So if LeBron has to go 6 or 7 games against the T-Wolves and then 6 or 7 games against the Rockets or the Golden State Warriors, that's 12 to 14 games. And I think one of those games will go 7 series if they play 7 games. So no matter what they say, you come back, you're going to be physical, and you got to play against us, and we're very physical defensively. So I just don't believe LeBron's can keep up. I just don't over that period of time. And we know how Luka is. Luka is Luka. John says, I'm high on AJ, but do you trust a rookie leading your second unit in the playoffs, a rookie who has been out for 3 months? Okay, John, great question. But what I'm saying is we don't have a ball handler in that group. Okay, so by you not having a ball handler in that group, what that does is against a team, especially the Clippers, the way that they play, we will struggle because J-Dub's not a ball handler, Kaysen's not a ball handler, Caruso's not a ball handler, Wiggins is not a ball handler, and Chet's not. So you don't have anybody to run the offense. That's why I said A.J. Mitchell is so crucial coming back. Now, if we were looking for him to score, John, then I would be more worried about it. But all we're looking for him to do is facilitate. And he's going to make a shot, cut to the basket, do that. But what he can do is he can get us into an offensive set, and he can handle the ball. Those are things that I think that I trust him. So Hotspot says, I trust AJ and Caruso together if you don't trust him as a rookie. No. What I'm saying is the rookie, John, you have a very good point about him being a rookie. But I would be more worried if I've got to count on him to score as a rookie versus him just being in the game running the offense. And that's all I want him to do is get us into our offensive sets, get at J-Dub where he needs to be in the right spot, get Chet where he needs the ball in the right spot, get Caruso and Wiggins, those guys in the right spot to get them the ball to do what they need to do to make them successful. That's what I'm saying I want him to do, and I don't think age has, rookie has it now. If we're looking at him to try to be a scorer and facilitate, I would be 100% behind you and worried. But for him just to facilitate and get us into our offensive sets, which is the struggle that we have against a really good team, okay? That's what I'm saying that I really worry about. But what it's going to come down to is this. Okay? This is what's going to come down to for the Thunder. Straight up. This is what's going to come down to. If I can get to where I need to go, and I seem to cannot get there for whatever reason, I'm struggling today. I'm so excited about Rory is what I really am. But anyway, here's the thing that's going to get the Thunder where we need to be. It's these stats right here, okay? The stats is defensively, okay? We're number 3 and giving up points. And this is kind of misleading because the last 3 games, the other guys have been playing. So we're third, but we really have been second. Okay? We're number 4 in scoring, 104. Okay, and now we're only down to what, 12 some points and something point differential. We were at 13-9, 13-7 before we started playing everybody. So this is a little misleading, but the fact is we're still 4th in scoring, 3rd in giving up points. Field goal percentage, we're 7th overall, and we're number 1 in total field goal percentage. We're number 2 in three-point percentage and giving up three-point percentage. We're number 6 as far as knocking down threes. Free throw percentage, which counts, you have to be able to knock down free throws. Okay? We're number 1, which means in the playoffs it's going to be physical. You got to have guys that can make free throws down the stretch. As we've seen how many teams lose, we saw it in the NCAA. You got to be able to make your free throws down the stretch in order to succeed. Pips, points in the paint. Oh, excuse me, let's do assists. Assists, we're 4th in keeping other teams out of their offense scoring. That's what the number 4 means. That means that we're keeping people out of their getting into their sets in order to get offensive to get their offense rolling. So we're 4th in that, which is great. Pips, points in the paint, we're 12th in scoring, but we're number 1 in keeping people from scoring in the paint. So think about this, guys. We are number 1 in keeping you from scoring in the paint, which, remember, that was our big issue. We're number 1 total field goal percentage. We're number 2 in three-point percentage. We're number 1 in deflections, getting our hands on balls, and we have the top 3 of the top 5 in that, which is Caruso, Dort, and Kaysen. So we have those. We're number 1 in transitional points. That means if we give up a steal or someone steals the ball from us, so you can see we take care of the basketball because we lead the league, okay, in turnovers. 11.5, that's all we commit. So we lead the league and take care of the basketball. But when we do turn the ball over, we're number 1 in transitional points, which means if we give up a pass, bad pass, we don't give up points in transition. That's huge. Now, after that, you're number 1, like I said, steals. Okay, and then we take care of the basketball. So we're number 1 in keeping people from stealing the ball from us. We're number 1 in turning the opposing team over, which means what? What I've always said. Long rebounds, which is the field goal percentage, three-point percentage, those are long shots. Long shots equal transitional points, equal flow of the game. Turnovers equal transitional points, which equals flow of the game. Okay, so those things together have put us in there. Now, second quarter, we're number 1, 30.4 scoring. We're 10th in giving up 27.4. And I believe that has to change. You can't bring SGA in at 5 minutes or 4 minutes and sitting for 7 minutes. This is the playoffs. Fourth quarter, we're 13th in scoring, and we're 2nd closing people out in the fourth quarters, keeping them from scoring. And all this nonsense about free throw attempts, we're 26th. Out of 30 teams. We're 26th. How the hell are we going to shoot all these free throws? Nonsense. That's a bunch of crap that the guys are throwing out there. Free throw attempts is okay for the opposing team. We're 25th. Fouls per game, we're 24th. And to me, why is that significant? Because as physical as we are, we're 24th. As physical as we are. Okay? So when I look at our team, I look at where we are. I look at the overall issues, and I've showed you why we should win. Now, like I said, my biggest issue is if our coach, and I argued with the guy about that today, and one of his very good friends is one of the assistant coaches for the Thunder, and he argued with me about it. I said, bro, I was right about the Thunder. The only thing I've ever been wrong about the Thunder has been what, Chet? I said, you're a Ravens fan. I told you what was going to happen with the Ravens, and I was right. You argued with me about that. And I would turn around, and now we're here again. And I said, I am right about the Thunder. And I will be overly joyed if I am wrong about them. Talk about the coach, not our team. And I try to explain, how hard you hate our team. No, I don't. I hate people to say that. And like I've said all along, quit telling me I'm a hater. Pay the F attention to what I'm saying, and then go back and watch what I'm saying and see if I'm right or wrong. That's all you got to do. And I tried to tell him that. I said, our issues are, if he's a minutes manager, That means he's going to screw up the flow of the game, and he's going to screw up lineups because of his managing minutes. And he goes, oh, he's going to throw all that out of the way. I'm like, we'll see. Because if he doesn't do what he's been doing, if he doesn't play 11 guys, we will win the chip. But at the 6:47 mark, like I told him, or the 7:11 or whatever that timeout is in the second and fourth quarters, if he leaves SGA on the bench and waits till the play starts and pulls him off the bench, we are going to get taken advantage of. Because why? Now he's got to call a timeout to get SGA in the game when he could have put him in very easily right there. But he's managing minutes because he wants J-Dub and him to get those extra 1 or 2 minutes. That's what he's doing. And then you do it in the fourth quarter, that's 2 timeouts you burned, hoping that somebody's going to get a foul or whatever, and the plays throw the ball away. It's going to be he can sub him in. Those are 2 quarters those are 2 timeouts he could possibly lose, and in a close game in the playoffs, that matters. And all I'm saying is, and I was trying to tell my guy today, all I'm saying is, look, we should win it. But if he doesn't change what he does, we're in trouble. Because why? We still can win it defensively because we're number one, and all the things I talked about. Or number 2. So we can still win it. But it's going to depend on what he does and how he does. It depends on whether we win. Because what does Jason Kidd and Steve Kerr know how to do? Take advantage of his weaknesses. That's what they do. That's why they beat us 5 times between. Put it like this: we have 14 losses, and 5 of them are to those 2 teams because they take advantage of what he does. Now, if he changes that, we're gonna breeze through. We're gonna breeze through because this is the deal. Take J-Dub out, have SGA, Kaysen, Caruso, or you can put Joe in there if you want. SGA, Joe, Caruso, Wiggins, or Kaysen, whichever one, and Chet. Or Ihart, either one. But I prefer Chet since you're playing Chet starting the second quarter, play him with that group. Because what this coach does, he puts J-Dub with the SGA's group. That's the best group. Whenever we're in trouble, go back and pay attention to what he does. Thunder get in trouble, other team makes a run. SGA, Kaysen, Caruso, Wiggins, Chet. When Chet was out, Ihart. When Ihart was out, J-Will. J-Will was out, wanted to go small, K-Rich. But those 4 with one of those bigs, that has been the recipe. Now he puts J-Dub with those 5, with those other 4. Well, that's fine, but who the hell is going to handle the ball? And against a great perimeter defensive team like the Mavericks, like the Clippers, like Golden State, you're in trouble when you do that because you have no ball handler, which is why I love A.J. Mitchell being back. Now we have a ball handler. We have somebody to get us in our sets. So to me, that's going to make the difference. I want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, hit our guys up. Love those guys. And if you have a water treatment plant in your city or county, they will make sure you have clean drinking water. And then, of course, YNB. Oh, sorry. Man, what did I just miss that? What did I just miss? Oak Grove Trucking. Sorry about that. My guy, Jose Fierro. If you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit my guys up over there at Oak Grove Trucking. And then, of course, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or go into one of their 5 locations. The main bank at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YB East was off the Parkway and 66, the 39th Expressway. YB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40 right there, Garth Brooks. And then, of course, YB Peoples, located on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then, of course, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. Man, they got some good smelling stuff. If you've been in there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, If you have a significant other as a guy, hey man, go see my girl Beth at Penn Square Mall there in the Dillards, and she will hook you up with some good smelling stuff, and she'll tell you who to go talk to in the women's department over there to get you hooked up. But they've got some great, great smelling stuff. The House of Creed, it is really, really good. And then of course, what they always tell me, Matt, remember, pick the best for your best, and I certainly try to do that. And here are the locations you can go visit: Woodland Hills Mall, Town East Mall, Oak Park Mall, Park Plaza Mall in Little Rock, Oak Park Mall, KC, Town East Mall in Wichita, clearly Woodland Hills in Tulsa, South Plains in Lubbock, and Westgate in Amarillo. So go in and check any of those places out, man. I'm gonna tell you, this house, the Creed, is some good smelling stuff. I'm just saying. Plus, they got a new cologne service that they've got, a new brand they got. It's fantastic. I can't say it. Detroit will go far. They have Waters. Okay, Commander, you're already late. I said this, and John, please tell Randy right this. I said at the beginning of the show, I thought Detroit, when I was talking about the East, that because they've got Waters, they'll be able to go far in the East. They could beat the Knicks. I said that right off the bat. So you're trying to chime in here late, trying to talk some trash. I already gave your boy some props. I already gave Waters props, and I thought that they would do that. So now, that being said, let's go back and let's go over the East. Okay, since we talked about the West already, let's go back and let's talk about the East and what's going to happen with the East. Let me see, where's my bracket? There it is. Okay, here's the East. You've got the Cavaliers. Okay, you've got the Bulls and Miami in that first deal. And of course, I think the Bulls would beat the Heat. That's just because I think the Bulls are better than the Heat. That's just me. I believe the Bulls would beat the Heat to go into the nice spot. The Orlando Magic and the Atlanta Hawks, I think that's going to be a knockdown drag out. But I'm going to go with our boy Trae Young. I'm going to go with Atlanta. And I think that they would go ahead and win. And then they would drop into the 7th spot against the Celtics again, which they're used to. And then I think that the Pacers will play the Chicago Bulls. And in that matchup, I think the Pacers will probably beat, not the Pacers, but the Orlando Magic will probably beat the Bulls. And then the winner of that game will go against Cleveland. I don't think either one of them has a shot against Cleveland. That's just me. I think Cleveland are going to handle their business in 5, maybe 6. Matt, speaking of the truth, let me see. John says, Matt, speaking the truth about Detroit. Thank you, John, for having my back with the Commander. Then, of course, you've got that matchup, which I think Cleveland will handle them in 5, maybe 6. That would be it. I would be surprised if it goes past 6. I think it'll probably be the gentleman's sweep, them going 5 games. That's just me. Then you've got the Pacers against the Milwaukee Bucks. That's going to be a knockdown drag out. I just believe it is, to be honest with you. The Bucks have won, 5 straight, 4 or 5 straight, 8 straight, 7 straight, whatever it is. I think that they're going to be a handful. They've been playing well without Dame. And Giannis has just been an absolute beast, almost going back into his MVP. When he won MVPs back-to-back, he's just been an absolute menace. But the Pacers can match him, and I just think it's going to be good. But, of course, it's going to depend on what Tyrese Halliburton does. And so we'll see. But so if I have to take my guess, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take – I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to take the Bucks, okay? I'm going to take the Bucks. Even though my heart says it's probably going to be the Pacers, my mind is telling me to take the Bucks, okay? But in my heart, I think it's going to be the Pacers. Then we have the Knicks and the Pistons, which, of course, our guy Randy Wright, the Commander, let's talk about that for a second. I do believe the Knicks and Detroit can come back and beat the Knicks. I think they can beat them. Kay's been playing well. And, of course, with Lindy Waters, the former Norman North guy and Oklahoma State Cowboy, I believe that the Pistons can beat the Knicks. I just don't trust the New York Knicks. I really don't. I think they're still a player away from doing what they need to do. Now, it depends on Brunson. If Brunson's ball like he has done last year's playoffs, the Knicks will go ahead and take care of business and move on. But since he's come back, he really hasn't showed us that he has been the same guy. So I don't know if he's going to be Jalen Brunson or if he's going to be the post-Jalen Brunson. So Randy Wright says that Lindy Waters' jersey is probably being sold out. Yeah, you're right. Oh my God, I'm gonna stop. The Knicks. John Warren says the Knicks suck against any team with poise, with the pulse. I just believe that the Knicks is just going to depend on what Jalen Brunson does. That's how I look at it. Okay, so I see the Cavaliers in the second round going against, like I said, the Bucks. That's what I'm taking. I believe that my heart says the Pacers, but my mind says the Bucks. Uh, and then the Knicks, I think the Knicks should beat the Pistons, but I'm gonna go out on a limb. I love Cade. They got two OSU guys between Cade and Lindy. I'm gonna take the Pistons. I'm going to take the Pistons. I know that's a leap. I know I'm way out there, but I'm going to take the Pistons. And then, of course, the Celtics going against the Hawks. I love Trey now, but I just don't know if they have a prayer. I really don't. I just don't. Uh, so anyway, I believe that they'll take care of that, and then they will take care of whether it's the Knicks or the Pistons. It's either one. I think it'll be Detroit, and I think they'll beat them at 5 or 6 and move on. And then, of course, to me, the championship now, Cleveland against the Bucks. They just don't have an answer for Giannis, but between the two bigs that they got, I think that he will struggle against Cleveland. So I'm going to take the Cavaliers over the Bucks in 6. It could go 7, but I'm going to take them in 6. Okay, and then I have them going against the Celtics, and I think the Celtics are going to beat the Cavaliers in 6 or 7 and go to the NBA Finals. And then I think they'll be facing us, which will be the winners between us and the Lakers. People, I was talking to somebody about this today. My dark side pick, ready to play us in the finals, is the Rockets. That's my dark horse pick. I think that the Warriors could get there, but my deal with the Rockets is they're so young, so I'm really worried about that. But man, I can tell you this: John Warren says sounds like a Doc Rivers choke series to me. Which one, the Pacers series or the Cavaliers? I agree, it's probably Cavaliers choke. You're probably right about that, John. That's just me, but I think the Celtics and the Thunder are going to come out in the championship series. I just do, unless our coach does what he does, playing 10 or 11 players, and he just does so much. I just don't see it. Hotspot says the Rockets are the Dallas Mavericks without Kyrie. Yeah, they're long. They've got a great coach. They're physically, defensively. My problem with the Rockets is if they're not getting buckets in transition, which they struggle against us doing on the road. At home, they take care of us. They're in Houston. But on the road, they tend to struggle a bit by doing that. And so that's my theory on the Rockets. I just think that I kind of agree with you. They're the Dallas Mavericks without a Kyrie. But at the same time, I just don't know if Dallas is as good defensively. They are now, but I mean, against us, we lost that because of, Game 5. So, but when I look at this overall series, we're good enough, no matter what our coach does, to get to the Western Conference Finals. Okay? But in order to win it all, he's going to have to change his strategies. Now, I was told today that he does know that and he's going to change. That's what I've been told. I just don't believe. I think he's a nerd. I think he believes in what he does. I believe he thinks that J-Dub is going to be the best player that he's ever coached. I believe that he's going to sit SGA in the second and fourth quarters. He's not going to stick him in there when he has that timeout, automatic timeout, perfect time to bring him in. Sit J-Dub for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, bring him back on the court when we made a run. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to play him the whole fourth quarter instead of taking him out and sitting him for 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. If he will do that in the second and fourth quarters, if he will take him out for 2 minutes or 3 minutes, especially in the fourth quarter, the Thunder will roll and win a championship. And we will be having I don't know about parade, but like I was talking about that, Thunder Parade. I don't see us having a parade. I see everybody lining up. There's Sizzletail. and because they have that nice stage, and we have the Thunder there, kind of like what they did at Grant Park with the Bulls. To me, it's just better instead of lining people all up and down the streets, just jam everybody there into Scissortail, put the Thunder on the deal, and do it right there. To me, that'd be the best way to do it. That way, you ain't got to worry about all this other stuff. You'll just have people packed in there, and I think that's how I would do it. But who knows what they're going to do? Kerr really messed that up by not putting Moody. Yes, OKC has this unless Dagnall messes it up in the finals. I agree. I mean, that's my only thing. But yeah, Steve Kerr today. But like I said, to me, watching that Warriors game, Steve Kerr made some decisions. And number one, he took the ball out of Steph Curry's hands. And I believe that they would have fouled Steph as soon as he touched it. That's what I think. And I believe that's why he gave it to make sure he got a three-point shot. I think if Steph touched it, they were going to foul him, give him a couple, and foul him, and go shoot 2 free throws and make him make the first one, miss the second one, and possibly try to get a rebound. That's what I think they would have done, and I think that's why Steve Kerr went ahead. And knowing Ty Lue being his assistant coach in the Olympics, I think that's why he did what he did and give Buddy hell. But Buddy, better shooter than that. I just can't believe he didn't even come close. He really didn't. The second Lakers game and the Suns gave me faith in Caruso. I love Caruso, bro. I don't know how you do not have faith in Caruso. I love Caruso. I say we increase his minutes and trust his veteran leadership to help us win. Caruso sets the tone defensively, and he knows when to show. I agree. He's going to be the difference. And Caruso, and we were talking about this today too, Caruso is so smart in how he does things that he is the difference in helping our young guys develop, which is Kaysen and J-Dub and Wiggins and all those guys, how to defend. I think he's fantastic at that. And he's been a great pickup by Sam Presti, 100%. And so I've always had trust in him. That's why he plays in the fourth quarter at the end of games, as he should. And I think you're going to see a lot is going to be SGA, J-Dub, Caruso, Dort, and Chet, or Ihart at the end. And the thing that worries me about Ihart is his free throw shooting down the stretch. Because believe me, they'll foul you. And to give up possessions, now it's going to be tough for them to score against us, but I believe they'd foul Ihart. Shooting 66%, yeah, I'm fouling him, 100%. Let me see, hotspot. Hell forgot they had 6 seconds left. Yeah, that's what I said. He didn't pay attention to how much time was there. He just caught it and shot. I'm like, dude, it's 6 seconds to go on the clock. What are you doing? You got plenty of time. But then again, they could have fouled him. So it may have been just, hey, we're going to get it to you, catch and shoot it. So that's probably what the scenario was for Steve Kerr to tell them, because I can promise you they would have fouled Steph. Promise you. And that's probably why he shot the ball off so quick, was to get the shot up before they had a chance to foul him. But he's a better shooter than that. And I just think his feet wasn't set. He was leaning to the left. He didn't square up. And there's a bunch of things that he was trying to do. But I believe the first thing he was trying to do was not get fouled, so that he's only shooting 2, that he's going to get a look at a 3. But before that, everybody forgets, Draymond gets a pass in the inside. He's trying to draw a foul. Dude, just catch the ball, go up, shoot your left hand, make a left hand layup, tie the score up. What you doing? What you doing? But that's Draymond being Draymond. You know, offensively trust him. He should know what to do. And he literally caught the ball and jumped into the defender to keep from getting his shot blocked, and then he shot it with his right. What you doing? Pump fake, use your left hand. Go up, get an and one if he drink. He's not going to block your shot. It's ball, you man, the number one rule in basketball. Ball, you, the man. You know, he's not going to block your shot. Come on. But once again, it's him. I'm not a fan of his, so, you know, I think it's a lot of talk. And but to me, dude, you're wide open on the basket. Just make the easy play instead of trying to draw a foul. Because what are they going to do? They just backed off of him. He shot in the crack. Before that, Steph tried to make this great play on the layup, catch and shoot. It was a bad pass it was a late pass by Draymond to Steph, and he shot in the crack. Come on, Steph, just bring it down, score. But he was trying to score really easily, and it didn't get done. Okay? It just didn't get done. But that being said, what a great game that was. And so that's why I was late coming on today, guys, because I was watching that game and watching Rory win the Masters in overtime. So that all of that together forced me to be, 2 hours, 3 hours late in my coming on the air. But I had a great time watching all that, and I loved it. So anyway, my deal is this. We brought it up. I think the Thunder will play who they're going to play in the first round. Okay, I think we're going to play either the Mavericks, who I think, or the Grizzlies. I want the Grizzlies because I don't know if the Mavericks can make it all the way through. I don't know if they can beat both teams and turn around and come down. I'd rather see the Grizzlies because they just struggle. They just struggle against us. And then you have Golden State down on the other side going against the young Golden State Warriors. Houston Rockets. And then now everybody would love to see the Lakers versus the Warriors. That's who everybody wants to see. And I just don't know if the Lakers can beat the Warriors. I know that they'd have an easier time beating the Rockets because, like I said, my only issue with the Rockets is they don't have scores. Consistent guys who could knock down shots. Defensively, they're unbelievable. But they don't have yet those guys who can knock down. Şengün is tough inside. Jalen Green has to be hot for 4 games. So I just don't see. I just don't see them doing it. But defensively, yes. Because what did I talk about earlier? Long shots equal long rebounds equal transitional points, which equal floor of the game. Defensive turnovers, steals, equal transitional baskets, which equal floor of the game. So that's how they win. So against us, the problem that struggles with, especially on the road, is they can't really score. But they're going to have a couple games that are going to be hot. But I don't know if they can beat the Warriors. I just don't know. I don't know what you guys think, but I just don't think they can beat the Warriors. I just don't. Now, I think that the Warriors have a better chance beating the Lakers than the Rockets do. So to me, I'd rather have the Rockets lose against the Warriors. The Warriors play the Lakers, but first the Lakers have to get past Minnesota. That's going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. I just believe it is. And I think Minnesota is more than capable of beating the Lakers. Now, whether they will, I don't know, but I believe that's going to go 6 or 7 series games, like I said earlier in the year when it came down to it. I said this is the kind of scenario that I was looking for. Us against the Grizzlies, the Lakers against the T-Wolves, and then turn around and have to play the Clippers or Golden State. That's the way I looked. And then us, I didn't really care if it was the Nuggets or whomever. And I believe that the Clippers is going to give us a tougher game than the Nuggets will, simply because the Clippers have scores. But that being said, James Harden hopefully will be James Harden, and he's going to give you a game, just like Russell does. Russell's going to give you a game. James Harden's going to give you a game. Stuff that we had to live through as Thunder fans, knowing that James Harden's going to give you a game, knowing that Russell's going to give a game away to the other team. Rashawn, that last shot, no problem. It was GP2 instead of Moses Moody doing the fourth. GP was too small and afraid to shoot. I agree he was too small. He should have shot the ball. I agree, but he shot that flat floater right there in the end of the fourth quarter that just wasn't even close, which that should be an easy shot for that guy. You catch it, you're 3 feet away. Nice little floater, give him some air. He shot it, whoop, laser, off the front of the rim. Floaters, when you shoot a floater, it's here, up. He went that way. What you doing, man? It's a floater. Catch it, boom, right over the top. So I agree with you. The Clippers was just saying this is kind of what the Thunder do. I believe that you have teams and you're going to say, okay, you beat us. And they've done that to Dort before. Dort, you're going to beat us. And like I said, us winning it, if SGA is aggressive right from the beginning of every game instead of being passive, if he comes out and he's aggressive like he was against the Lakers, and he comes out and he's focused, then our whole team relaxes. And when our whole team relaxes and we just shoot and just play ball, and our guys who are playmakers make plays, that's the deal. Excuse me, our guys who are not playmakers. Guys are just making plays. SGA is the playmaker. And as he starts rolling, as he starts scoring, then it releases everybody else up just to relax and play. And we're a tough team to beat. Now, also, if SGA's got it going, and he's got 25 or 30 in the first quarter, or 20 in the first quarter, Why are you sitting here for 7 minutes? Let's get him in there. And we talked about this. What matters if you play him 38 minutes? So, just think about this. He's going to have what? 12 days of rest or something crazy? So he hadn't played since Wednesday, right? Last week. No, he hadn't played since Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday. He hadn't played since Tuesday this week. So he didn't play. We don't play until Saturday. What is that? 14 days? 12 days? There's plenty of rest for him to be there. The right scenario is this. SGA comes out, busts their ass, relax right from the very beginning. He lets everybody know, hey, let's go. Everybody relaxes, we play. Dagnall doesn't wait with 6, whatever it is, 47, 7 minutes, whatever. Bring SGA in the game. When that deal comes, instead of sitting him on the bench and you sub out somebody else. Put J-Dub's butt on the bench. Let that group, that 5 roll, bring him back in with 3 or 4 minutes to go in the second quarter, 3 or 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. We will win. I promise you, if he does that, we will win. We will. But if he's playing Jang and people giving up, I'm going to say this. You have 5 less possessions in the playoff games because teams are running the shot clock down. You can't afford to give away possessions in the second quarter just to play somebody. You can't do it. Or the first quarter to play somebody. Can't do it. You have to be laser focused all the way through. So in the fourth quarter, you have a 6-point lead instead of a 2-point lead. Or an 8-point lead instead of a 4-point lead. Or you're not down 1 because you gave away 3 possessions earlier. Those are the things that are going to make the difference. So if our analytical, nerdy coach has those blinders on and that's what he's going to do, what is how we want to say? That's the season. It's the playoffs. Not the same. You can't coach the same way. If you do, we will get beat. It's not rocket science. It's really not. But what are our strengths? We're physical, we play great defense, and we have the best closer in the league. That's what the Thunder have. So play to your strengths and not worry about all the other stuff. The ancillary stuff, who cares? The Thunder will win. Not hard. Not hard. So that being said, I know we're going to have some more talks. We're going to probably do another show. We'll probably do one after Tuesday and Wednesday, whatever the games are, so we can kind of we'll know who the Thunder is going to play. Once we really know that, then we're going to have another show, and then we'll have one after Saturday night after the game. So that being said, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. And remember, congratulations, Rory, on becoming the 6th member of the golf's famed, oh my God, my mind just went blank. What did they do? Where they won all 4 Masters or won all 4 majors. I can't believe I don't know what the hell that's called. My mind just went blank. Anyway, congratulations, Rory, to do the Grand Slam. Congratulations, Rory, winning the Grand Slam. Way to go, being the 6th person ever to do it. And then also, by the way, congratulations, Thunder, being the number 1 overall seed throughout the playoffs. That means East, West, whoever we play, we have the number 1 seed. So everybody have a fantastic day out there. Stay out of trouble. Peace out.